11:30 on KTSA. Time for our lightning round on Gang of Four. We will quickly hopscotch through a few more stories. How can we let this week go by? Please pull on your headphones, gentlemen. How can we let this week go by without one more visit? He's been everywhere. You can't get away from him. We're almost so sick of him, we want to put him back on a street corner in Columbus. How can you get away from Ted Williams? Take a listen to this.
People in Columbus call me a radio man, and they said, "Hey, radio!" They said, "This morning show is trying to find you. They're talking about big things, man. They want to invite you and everything." So I thought it was a spoof, you know. So I called these guys, and they just said, "Man, we'd love to have you come on. And by the way, NBC's Today Show is going to be here," and they were supposed to link up with some type of satellite feed live, and that just blew me away because the Today Show, man, that's a hot show in the morning, you know, for me. And Matt Lauer, man, I mean,
we like Matt Lauer.
He brings the female out in me because that's Matt Lauer. I mean,
me too. Me too. Hey, how can people get a hold of you if they want to hire you or
I have a friend of mine that's really handling all of these fields because now I'm the official voice of Kraft Macaroni and Cheese.
Wow. First of all, how does a homeless guy know who Matt Lauer is? How does he follow the Today Show? Where does he see the Today Show?
He's catching up very fast, I think.
But, yeah, he's got a man crush. That was from Late Show with Jimmy Fallon on NBC, by the way.
You know the expression 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Is this guy having his 15 minutes or what?
He is having it.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of this? I mean, first of all, did any of you guys think this was a hoax when you first heard about it? No? I guess I'm the only skeptic. I was really wondering if we were all being put on
Not
here.
necessarily, but I did wonder initially about why there wasn't a little bit more vetting going on. But I guess the way things are now, if somebody becomes if it's a viral sensation, then we have
Fame
to,
covers
you have to jump
everything.
on it.
Well, let's face it,
Fame
we all
covers
want this
everything.
story to be so. Right?
Right. We all want it. We all want
we
this
want
kind of thing
something
to happen.
believe in. We sure can't believe in Washington. We agreed about that. We want something to believe in.
Mm-hmm.
So what drove our fascination was maybe our hope that this could happen to anybody, or that there's hope for anybody.
Yeah,
There's
you
a
know
second
the whole
chance for anybody.
Horatio Alger mythology. We love comebacks. You know, people who somehow pick themselves up, and usually it's by luck from hard knocks.
The only thing that I would say to that is that this is a little bit like watching somebody win the lottery and thinking that's how you get to be rich. You know,
Yeah.
it can be misleading. The truth is, for every Ted Williams, there's 10,000 people that have got to just work, right, to get this result and get this success. And you hope that people don't take that away from it. Oh, maybe somebody will discover me too. You know. Yeah. What about the massive die-off of birds and fish in Arkansas, and how it's happening in other places? We're being told it's just atmospheric and it doesn't mean anything. Anybody freaked out by that? Jim, you don't look freaked out at all.
I'm freaked out. I don't
You're a
know
little freaked
why.
out?
I can't articulate it, but it's 2 million fish is a lot of fish.
I think if something was going on, the authorities would still tell us, "Oh, not to worry." They're gonna, like with the UFOs. There's nothing to it. Don't worry about it. It did seem a little end-timey, didn't it?
Yeah, it's. I think if it was happening here, I would. I don't know what my response would be.
You don't care because it's happening in Arkansas?
I don't mean
That's nice, Gilbert.
I don't mean to dismiss the state of Arkansas. Wonderful state.
If it was happening in one of the other
times.
49 states, I would care, but in Arkansas.
Yeah, it's
All right. Hugo Chavez has put out it's almost like a Christmas wish list, a little late for Christmas. He is letting the White House know who he would like for the next U.S. ambassador to Caracas. I didn't know that world leaders got to request their ambassador. I thought that was up to us. His wish list includes, first choice, Oliver Stone. Second choice, Sean Penn. Third choice, and this is kind of humiliating for the poor guy. Third choice, Bill Clinton.
Wow.
Yeah, that is.
Bill Clinton was the president.
So
He's your third choice?
Kim Kardashian wasn't in there?
I didn't get that far down the list.
Just
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, well, how about that? I would say they can have Sean Penn. I'm ready to, right now.
I agree.
I'll drive him to the airport. Oliver Stone, Sean Penn, or Bill Clinton. Now Obama has actually nominated someone who I've never heard of, and Chavez says he's not pleased with that choice. So I don't know what you got. What do you got to have? You got to have an Academy Award or have been president, I guess, to have this all-important assignment. All right, did you hear anything or see anything about this? It was on 60 Minutes a couple of weeks ago. We talked about it on our show this week. There's apparently a very select group of people in the world, maybe fewer than 10 of them that they know of, that have something called superior autobiographical memory. Have you heard of this?
Yes.
These people, Louis, you've heard of it, they can remember every day of their lives in detail. You can give them a date, Gilbert. Imagine as a reporter being able to have this gift. Give you a date, I say September 17th, 1993. You know what you had for breakfast, you know what you wore, you know what you did, you know what happened to you. Would you want this, speaking of superpowers, would you want to have this ability, or would this be Jim, would this be a curse to remember that vividly?
I don't know. I'm wondering how you keep all that stuff up there. You know, is
Categories.
finite?
They categorize everything.
Yeah, I would want to. I would want to get a go on Jeopardy.
Yeah, there you go. That's what a lot of people say right off the bat. I'd go on a game show.
There's a great story, and this might be a case of somebody who had this. The actress Mary Lou Henner was on a show. Did they talk about? She was on a show with Bob Costas years ago, and he was talking about how she had this ability, and he just as an example pulled out a date, which was such and such August 1969. It happened to be the day of the moon landing. That's why he picked it, and she blushed and was shocked. It happened to be the day she lost her virginity. And just by act, by
bet a lot of
coincidence,
people
he picked
lost
that.
it on the moon landing day.
So anyway, so he did not know that.
What an icebreaker. But yeah, I mean, she's one of them. And who would have thought that we'd be studying the brain of Mary Lou Henner? Who would have thought that civilization might benefit from a closer examination
It seems
of Mary
painful.
Lou Henner's brain?
There are things that I don't want to remember. Yeah, that's what I...
In fact, isn't forgetting sometimes healthy?
Yes.
Aren't there things that you need to let go of that maybe happened to you in your childhood or whatever? It would be difficult. And what they say is, it's not that this plays sort of like a loop of tape in their head, but they can access these things. It seems to me if you had a painful memory, you would access it involuntarily.
I just think of our curses. As you get older, you can recall with great detail, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
But you can't recall what you're supposed to do from yesterday.
I find I'm making up detail as I get older, Jim. I'm pretending I remember it, but it's really not accurate.
Didn't you like the way they all kind of really bonded together when they found each other, knowing that they
Yeah,
all had
60 Minutes brought them together. They had never been brought all together before, right? And they did all this testing. One thing I did notice was, except for Mary Lou Henner, they were all a little bit of...
Right.
How can I say this politely? They were...
challenged in some
socially challenged.
Right.
They weren't they were a little, but there would have to be some of you'd have to be kind of OCD
But she
or
also
something to
mentioned
have
that she was
that.
on her third marriage, and that may be the reason why.
Yeah.
And nobody else in the group was married either.
Yeah. They were they weren't, let's put it this way, they weren't Mary Lou Henner. The other five were
Okay.
They were no Mary Lou Henners. And one woman actually said it was a curse. She said she hated having it, that she hated to have to, she couldn't turn it off, I guess, basically was her problem. But I wonder, what I'd really rather have is the ability to remember like practical stuff, like PIN numbers and passwords.
Yeah.
I don't need to remember what happened in '93, but I need to know where I left something or put something away last week. That's my problem.
I wonder if they still remember, like, say, their school locker combinations or some things like that. I don't know.
Yeah, they probably
They
do.
do.
They probably do.
frightening.
The other thing about memory that's so interesting is, I don't know if you've had this experience or not, but on Facebook, every so often somebody will pop up who I have not heard of or heard from since like second grade or something. You know what I mean? People discover you, and it never fails. Their memory of me is always very different from the way I felt at the time. Like this girl popped up this week, Verna, all right, from third grade, popped up on Facebook.
From
Newton. And Verna's telling me, oh, you were the nicest boy, and you had this dreamy smile. And I'm like, Verna, I would have liked to have known that in the third grade. Why are you just remembering that now? I would have liked to have known that. But then I think, you know what? I think we probably look back and we've softened everything up. What is it, sepia tones? Is that the term, Jim? Where we look back on things and we romanticize them, you know?
Yeah.
So you're now all of a sudden...
I mean, why? Why remember the ugly? Think about it.
Yeah.
What enjoyment are you going to get out of
I
that?
remember it. I don't know. I'm the only one. I was miserable. I was getting beat up all the time. I didn't have a dreamy smile. But anyway, all right. So that's that. We've said a lot. We want to thank our gang today. Gilbert, Garcia, good luck with the launch next week.
Thank you,
of
Jack.
the website. And how do people find it?
It's Plaza de Armas tx.com, and people, if they're interested in subscribing, can go there, and there's
there's a page up now that they can go to.
Yeah, there's kind of a demonstration page just so people can see what it looks like.
All right, and will that be a daily?
Yes,
it's a daily.
Starting January 12th, it'll be daily.
Web newspaper, we would say.
Right.
All right, very good. Louis Barrios, what do you got planned?
Well, I'm going to Los Barrios this
going
afternoon. Going to work, bud,
yeah.
And happiness is a puffy top.
Do you actually cook, or are you sort of just
no,
overseeing?
No,
right.
I don't cook.
You're just the big man.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
I'm rough and tough.
And Jim Eskin. Jim, do you actually cook?
Yes.
All right. See, he's not comfortable with guns, but he's comfortable with a ladle
and pots and pans.
And pots and pans. And look for stratagems.org.
Correct.
For Jim's newsletter. All right. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. John Davis coming up in our noon hour. It's 11:41 on News Talk 550 KTSA.
All right. I like the happiness is puppy taco.
Great job, gentlemen. Thank you.
Enjoyed it. Jack.